And, you know, I read a lot of quest fantasies when I was a kid, and this is from when I was in 8th grade. It's from a book called Knights of the Silver Sun, which I believe meant moon. Yep. Let's see if I can get through this. It all started one misty morning at Dane, the lookout station run by my father. It is also the lookout station nearest Ms. Taz, the evil city of stolen silver. Silver Venthromax stole centuries ago. Here we come to our first, I think, and maybe only footnote in the entire, this is a book, by the way. And it tells us that Venthromax is the amethyst dragon. Then the faceless wisps stole it from him, but in doing so cursed it. Though the townsfolk may seem pleasant, they are deadly as poison. Nearly as deadly as the faceless wisps themselves. Now, before I go on anymore, I feel I must explain that I am not the pretty, fluffy, obedient creature my parents would have liked. I am quite tall. And my intense blue eyes stare at them from under a mop of bright red hair. Now I also must explain that weapons are strictly forbidden to the women folk. However, I broke the ancient rule and taught myself to use these things. The punishment for this was to be whipped with a whip. Made of demon tails, bound together so I make special care not to let on. One day I was mulling over finding my brother's new hiding spot for his knife when I heard screaming out in the square. I stuck my head out of the window and saw my mother, pale as snow, kneeling over my brother, Paul. Lying on the dirt, his eyes staring at something that wasn't there. It took me a full moment to realize he was dead. I looked around. Warriors of Ms. Taz were everywhere. I ran to my father's room. I knew that he in his old age could not shoot as well as I, but when I closed my hand on the cool metal, my father walked in behind me. "Marion!" he exclaimed. "Father," I gasped. "Oh, Father!" He put his gnarled hand on my shoulder. "Go, Marion!" was all he said. I needed no second urging. I ran into the frenzy below. I saw my father. I don't know how this is true because she just saw her father, but now he's down in the fight. Trying in vain to beat off the coming attackers. But when I came closer, he was gone, as if he'd never been there, which actually makes more sense because he couldn't possibly be there. A club was raised above me, and the last thing I remember were metal spikes dangerously close to my head. I will stop there and trouble you